Hello, Rainbow Six community. Um, this is Kirito, and tonight, um, I will be going over my attachment guide and also just be going through my skins of each operator and just basically customizing my operators. Hope you enjoy and hope you like and sub and let's get started. And please help me get to 50 subscribers, hopefully by the beginning of March. Maybe it's too much to be asking for, but hope that in the next month I could hopefully get 30 subs. But if not, it's alright. Um, but let's get started, and I hope you guys enjoy. Uh, if I slur or sound, off or something, it's probably because I'm tired as hell, but not to the point where I can sleep yet. So I'm just making this video, and hopefully after I'm done, I'm able to sleep. So hope you guys like and sub and enjoy this video. Thank you, and let's get started. So one, I'm happy that they actually finally released the Lunar New Year bundles. Kind of disappointed because I had like 130,000, 140,000 renown about a day or two ago, and I decided to buy alpha packs instead of saving it up for this. So today I end up having to buy some of the really nice bundles I liked with real money. A lot of people would say, well, why didn't you just, grind out more renown? Well, honestly, I didn't want to miss getting these bundles this time around because every time these bundles come out, the old ones especially, I never had a chance to grab them because I never played. I normally, in the past, I normally took breaks around December, like right after Christmas. I would normally take a break from Rainbow from December all the way until basically the end of February or beginning of March. And every time I came back, I never had the common sense to look at the bundles that they had, or I never had the renown to buy the bundles when I came back. So I decided to buy them out this time, and now I'm gonna have skins that I actually enjoy having. I have a lot of skins for my weapons, and a lot of them I don't like. A lot of them I just buy, especially seasonal skins, because they're gonna be rare once the season's over. So I just get them anyways. But I'm gonna go over my settings real quick, just so people see how I play and how my settings are. Um, but after that, we'll get into each operator in depth and in detail. So let's get started. Well, for general, this is all personal preference. I'm not even gonna go in depth on it. It's just gonna waste time. Honestly, matchmaking preferences, basically T hunt and maps that you want to play on in T hunt. Basically, that's it. The only thing in multiplayer that's in here is basically your preference mode of if you want to play bomb, secure area, or hostage. I normally keep all three on so I don't have to wait forever in a queue to find the game. I used to do bomb only so I can just warm up and then go straight into rank or something like that. But now I just don't care. And then the rest would be basically T hunt stuff. So I'm not gonna really get into it. I don't really play T hunt anyways. And when I do, I mean, I have everything on besides basically I have elimination on, which I probably don't have it on now because I was doing something earlier on defense. So I'm gonna put elimination back on and turn off hostage, and basically that's it. Elimination's on. and then all the lone wolf I have on default, not headshot, and then I only have rank maps on. So when I do 2T hunt, it's only gonna put me on a rank map. Ping on display performance, I have on minimum metrics so I can see my FPS ping, and um obviously it's gonna show you the version. So connected feedback default, so you can see when you're having issues. Cycle inside camera group. Some people have this on, some people have it on. I really don't get in depth in it just because of the fact that it was a new feature that was added at some point, and a lot of new features I don't really get into, to be honest. Besides, drone after prep and other drone stuff. Like drone after prep, I have on automatic. HUD, everything's on, nothing's off. As you can see, as I'm going down the list, everything is on. I used to take some things off, but I was like, I felt like it was useless to deal with anyway, so I said, forget about it. Audio English, subtitles on. Subtitles don't matter, you can have on and off. If you just have trouble hearing sometimes and like an operator calls something out, you can also read it, that's your choice. I've always had subtitles on, that's just me. I don't know why, I guess I'm weird. Master volume 100, music off. Some people like to have it on a little, but I like it off completely. Dialogue at 70. I have dialogue at 70, like it just set up here, subtitles. If an operator is going to call something out, you can read it anyways, but I also have dialogue off because of like half the time when your operators say something, it's honestly like thermite or clash or some other operators out there, they got something useless to say like thermite blown a fucking hole or something like that, something similar to that. And it's just annoying to hear while you're actually trying to listen to the game because those dialogues aren't really necessary. Some of the dialogues are necessary, but not all of them. Like dialogue, the reason why I don't have it, I might turn it back up a little bit, but a good thing about having dialogue on though is the fact that if an enemy's operator is calling out reloading, you can actually hear that if you're close by. Um, Last time I checked, you can. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I apologize, but I'm pretty sure last time I checked, you can hear the enemy team yelling out reloading when they're reloading. And then you can also hear out any of the dialogues the operators are doing, like when they're when they're reinforcing, they might say something. When they're putting down a gadget, they might say something. They're gonna say something for anything they're possibly gonna do, basically. And there's a possibility that they will say something. So, I have it at 70 just for the useless dialogues that there are. Dynamic range, I have on night mode. Some people say use hi-fi, but I don't know. Night mode I use because sorry about that. Night mode I use specifically because it helps out with footsteps. It makes footsteps louder, and then explosives and like gunshots and all that other stuff that are really loud a little softer. So you can hear the stuff that are lighter like footsteps better. Voice chat 75. Honestly, sometimes 75 is even too loud. People are just so loud in game chat sometimes, and it's not even because the voice chat is low or not. I mean, if it's, high or not. Even if I lower it even more, it's because people's microphone phone levels are just maxed out, and people are just like screaming into their mics. Controller speaker on, really don't matter. Display VSync off if you're on old gen, PlayStation 4, Xbox One X, or the regular Xbox One, and basically PS4 Pro, any old gen system, have it off. It is useless, and then if you do terrorist hunt, it's just gonna destroy your quality of graphics and everything, and it's useless because it doesn't do anything for multiplayer on old gen. And then on new gen, all it does for you is basically make it to where your frames stay steadily at what your TV's refresh rate is. So, for instance, if I turned it on right now, it's going to say 60 at the moment because I'm not playing the game, but once I play the game, it's going to go to 120, and it's going to stay at 120. It's not going to drop below, it's not going to go higher than 120 like it will, because when you have it off, your FPS will go higher than 120. The thing is I would rock VSync so I can have just a steady 120, so I don't ever have to have my stuff go up too high and have it like a little spike, or go drop down too quickly, or anything like that. I would like to have it on, but see, VSync causes a latency lag. I think it's either latency lag or input lag. Uh, Actually, my mistake. It's not latency lag. It is input lag. Basically, you have an input. Like, say I'm putting a bandit down or I'm throwing a grenade. There will be an input delay when you're doing those things. Is it enough to notice? I don't know. Some people have better eyes than others. I honestly wouldn't know really, because the TV I used to play on used to have an MS of, like, I think on game mode the MS was in the 30s, to be honest. Now my TV I play on now, it's like, I think in the 15s or below. But yeah, I mean, I end up playing in non-game mode and still dropping kills with latency up to with the MS. I mean, up till in the hundreds, and I still did all right. Did I do the best? No, because there was a huge input lag. But is there a difference? I don't know. I really don't, because I don't have it on. And every time, excuse me, every time I try to search up forums or anything about VSync on next gen consoles, I cannot find anything that explains it right. So I just gave up on it. Graphic mode on performance, and in the PlayStation also have it on performance. I will get into depth at the end of the video on exactly where you go on the PlayStation 5. I won't be able to show it because I'm streaming slash broadcasting from the console's YouTube and not my own devices. So I won't be able to show the home screen of the PlayStation because Sony doesn't allow it. So, which is understandable because of privacy reasons and all that other stuff. Because you can have people read your messages and all this other stuff and all that. So yeah, it's basically privacy reasons why they don't allow it. But I will tell you where to go. Actually, while we're on this topic, instead at the end of the video, since you can still hear me, I'm going to show you. Since you can hear me still, you go to settings on the PS5, and then you go down to save data and game/app settings, and then you go down to game presets, and it will show difficulty, and then the second option will be performance mode or resolution mode. Put that on performance mode, and when you have both set the performance mode, you will get your 120 hertz. Basically, you would actually get like 130, sometimes 140, to be honest. Now, if you have performance mode on your PlayStation 5, but resolution mode on your PlayStation 5's game, as Rainbow is, since they have the mode, if you have that on resolution mode, but this on performance mode on the console, you won't get 120 hertz, but you will get anywhere from 90 to 115 hertz, if I'm correct. I haven't used it like that, so I've ran into that issue once or twice because at first I didn't know everything, but once I get everything down, changed it. But when I had it like that at first, when I had it on resolution mode, because when you actually first open up a PS5 and hook everything up, it is gonna be set to default or resolution mode, if I'm correct. Yeah, it's either game default or Oh yeah, it was either set to game default or resolution mode when I first started it up, I think. I can't remember directly. It's a long time ago. I mean, I might have actually switched it to resolution mode myself. But that's on the console. But on the console, have it on performance, and then if you have it on resolution in the game, it will still be higher than 60 frames, but it will not be 120, and you will have a likely of possibly more tearing happening because you're trying to like basically do too much in my opinion. You have one set to performance and one set to resolution. They're gonna like I don't know how to explain all of it, but when I did have it like that, I had a lot more tearing issues. But let's get back to the video. My brightness 45. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna keep it at 45. Controls, look, inversion, vibration, and trigger effect all disabled. Don't get me wrong, the trigger effect is it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, but I hate vibration. Period. Doesn't matter where. Hate it on my controller. Hate it in the analog, or not analog, but you know where your hands are. I hate it there, and I hate it on the triggers. It's just useless in my opinion. I hate it. Look inversion. I mean, honestly, if you use that, good for you, and I hope you do awesome with it. But it is not something you use, in my opinion. Vertical, horizontal. Vertical's at 40. Horizontal is at 60. In this game, I normally always have vertical lower than horizontal and horizontal higher than vertical. And I like it when vertical is low, but not too low. And then I like horizontal high, but not too high. Dead zones always set to 5. Controller rotation classic. Like I said, I don't touch anything that was newly put into the game really. I don't. I've tried updating before though, and I did not do good with it. Controller ADS 40 standard. Don't use advanced. There's no reason to use advanced because you're basically changing the ADS scope speed of all your ADSs on advanced, meaning each time you use a weapon with a different scope, it's going to be different. So I like mine at all 40. And just to tell people, ADS sensitivity is not how fast you zoom in your scope. I cannot say this enough. I've ran into numerous people that always thinks ADS sensitivity is on how fast you zoom in your scope, and that is not it. ADS sensitivity is just like regular sensitivity. It is how fast you move up and down, left and right. It's not how quick you zoom in. Just to let you guys know that. A gadget and drone deployment. These are the only two advanced settings that they added in the game that I use because I just prefer it. And also, drone deployment is basically after prep phase. When you throw your drone, you don't go straight into your drone if you have it on advanced. You throw it and then you have to hit the button to get into your drone to control it, which is way better because back in the day when someone threw a drone and you got right on it right away, a lot of times people would run out and kill you. But now with that, you don't get ran out on anymore as much. Gadget deployment. I don't know how to explain this one really. I just love advanced way more than standard. Something that really I enjoyed. And oh yeah, one reason why is because if you have it on advanced, you can push the gadget button again to cancel the action. But on standard, once you start placing your gadget and it is started the deployment of your gadget, the action cannot be canceled. That is the key word. So if you're putting a bandit down on standard, you cannot stop yourself from putting that bandit down if an enemy or something came up. You are going to probably die, and because you are stuck in animation because you could not cancel and do something. Privacy settings. I do like to rock these on, but with my queue times lately, I have them off, and I just gotta deal with stream sniping right now. It's basically some type of way of basically helping you with your streams. Once they bring out the real streamer mode and everything, I'll have everything on, and crossplay will be here, so the queue times would not be so bad, even if I have these on. So when that happens, that's when I'll start rocking it again. But I already have queue times that are long as hell, and now if I turn those on, they're gonna get longer. As you can see, matchmaking delay 0 to 30 seconds, 30 to 90, and then 90 to 180, and then region and latency on or off. If you have it on, you're awake. Basically, you can't. Your region is hide, so no one knows what region you're from, and then your latency is hidden too, meaning no one knows your ping. And the accessibility really don't matter. I like blue orange like it used to be instead of blue red, so I don't rock the red. And then my optic color I use light blue or turquoise. Basically all I use. So, and then I have it set to 100. Really don't matter if you have it down or up. It's all a personal preference. And then the chat preferences does not matter because we do not have chat like on PC does. Will they add it at some point? Hopefully, but I don't know. That is the settings, and I apologize that it took 20 minutes to talk about all that. I got carried away a little. So let's get into the operators. Okay, starting with Sledge. Like I said, this is probably not even gonna be um, it's gonna be an in-depth video. And if I do get too tired, I will probably stop it and have to continue tomorrow. And I apologize if that is the case, because I'm gonna change everything. Attachments. I might not change all the attachments up though, because some of them are to my liking already, but other things will be changed. Okay. Oh. Loadout. Okay, for a shotgun, I have reflex laser. Um, on all shotguns, in my opinion, I now move to reflex just because the fact that with a shotgun, your peripheral vision and the vision that you get when you zoom in the reflex, you have more of an option of seeing around you instead of a holographic where you zoom in, or a red dot you zoom in and it's a big bulky item and it covers up some of the screen. Reflex covers up the least amount of the screen, and as long as you shoot in the vicinity of that green triangle, and I apologize if I butchered it, I never can say that word correctly, triangle. Um, but as long as you are as long as that is in the body area of an enemy, you are hitting them because a shotgun spreads. Um, so yeah, and it just helps you trace better with the shotgun, and it's just gonna help you see better. So when enemies get up, you can just barrel stuff them. That's just my personal take on it. Laser sight I always have on because it increases hip fire accuracy. I think it's by 30%. I could totally be wrong. I do not remember the percentages of what the attachments do in this game. So don't quote me on it. But with shotguns, I call all lasers because it's just common sense. Yes, the laser can give up your position, but if you're good at the game or common sense wise at the game, all you gotta do is hide it. So like if you're in a corner by a door frame or something and you know someone's coming up, make sure you're aiming on the door frame more than out in the open in the hallway so they can see the red dot. So basically aim in more and then hopefully, well, I don't know why I'm saying hopefully because like I said, you should only be using lasers on shotguns basically. Um, if someone runs in the door, you hit them instead of missing the shot because you reacted um at a later time. But like I said, even if you miss a millisecond or even a second or two, you should still hit the person because it's a shotgun, like I said. And then that's it for the shotgun. For the L85A2, I use holo. I mean, holographic. I cannot speak tonight. I use ACOG, or as they call it now, Scope 2.5. I have in the past switched back and forth between the 1.5 and 2.5, but honestly, a lot of times that I notice I get in a longer range battles with Sledge, and I prefer the 2.5. Um, but you can use either or 1.5 or 2.5. It's a personal preference. But either or is really good. I won't go any below any of these. Like this holographic takes up way too much of your peripheral vision and your vision around you when you scope in. And red dot and reflex, I mean, you're on attack. I don't know why you would want to use reflex or red dot in general. I don't think there's any use for it. Unless you plan on bomb rushing the site every time and actually dropping 2 to 3 kills every time you bomb rush it. But I use Scope 2.5 or ACOG if you consider it. Back in the old days, is basically what the name was. Muzzle Break. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. Took me forever to figure this out. So this is the weird part. Flash hider. It just has a complete. It basically when I use flash hider, the recoil in general, there was no recoil. But the problem is the first couple of bullets that came out of the weapon with flash hider on were ridiculous. In my opinion, of recoil. So I tried compensator. Compensator, the first couple bullets that come out of the gun to basically the first couple of shots all the way up to the middle group like shots. So anywhere from like probably 1 to 8 bullets, I had absolutely a beam. But after the 8 bullets, 8, 9 bullets, it went from beaming to unexpected recoil, and it was weird. It was really weird, and I went back to Flash Hider and started playing on Flash Hider again and stayed on that. But then I got some advice to try out Muzzle Break, so I tried out Muzzle Break recently, and well, I have been beaming with it ever since I've changed it to Muzzle Break. So I use Muzzle Break now. It might be weird, but yeah, I use Muzzle Break. Um, and anybody that uses suppressor, especially on the L85, A2, either you're really good at the game and you love suppressed weapons, or 2, you just love the sound of suppressed weapons, or 3, you don't understand the barrels in the game. So I wouldn't touch suppressor unless you're basically beaming at the head and you're always headshotting or you like the sound of it, which at that point that's just personal preference. So off that, um, see, it's funny because like if I go to my parents, I'm rocking the Team Liquid uniform and headgear, excuse me, and I want to rock the Team Liquid weapon skin too to match the uniform, but man, oh man, oh man, this is so hard for me to decide because I recently got this skin that just came out today, and it's also old reoccurring skin from back in the day, which is very nice. I like it. Or the newer one that just came out too, the Year of the Tiger, which the Year of the Tiger looks very great on the L85. I really wish I had the Crimson bundle because this looks perfect. It's not. It doesn't. Put it like this: the Crimson Red does not match the red on the Year of the Tiger because it's two different reds, but it just looks great on it in my opinion. Another one that looked okay with it was this yellow. It kind of matches the gold from the Tiger, but it didn't match as good as the red did, or as the moss grown ruin, which is the attachment skin that came out with this season's seasonal weapon skin. This one goes good with it because the gold from the scope or sight and the barrel, they're both gold. That kind of matches the tiger and everything. The only thing that I don't really like is the grip in the magazine. I'm not a fan of that kind of um, texture and everything, but it still looks pretty good on the weapon. So if you don't use the moss grown ruin, I would recommend using cannery. If I even said that correctly, because I can't speak at all today, or I would use crimson. Other than that, I mean, let's go through what I have and see if anything matches. Um, if this didn't have blue on the top, this one wouldn't look that bad with the orange, but other than that, it doesn't really match. This one is alright, not the best, because it's a whole different type of color than anything on the weapon. This one, no. Search and rescue, no. This one, no. The white one, nah, white matches everything basically, but I don't think it goes with it. This one doesn't go with it. This one doesn't go with it. If you like carbon fiber, this one isn't that bad with it. The all black it just makes it pop too much in my opinion, and I don't like it. The carbon fiber kind of blends with it, but it's kind of poppy too. So I wouldn't rock that. So honestly, I don't really like any of my attachment skins on it besides the moss grown, and there's half of it I don't like, and then the cannery, which I might actually rock because I rather have it like that than what I hate about the moss grown ruin. But like I said, I don't know what to use because I have the disrupt, or now considered the Australis. Um, one, which I would also rock the black attachment skin, which looks sick. And then I use a Team Liquid one, which is down here more. If I can find it right here. And I use the white attachment skin because the black made it pop too much and it just didn't look perfect or match. But the white one, see, I like the blue and then the ride or die white lettering. And then this down here where the at the right bottom where the Team Liquid logo is, that's kind of a white. So the white kind of matches a little. Um, and then honestly, carbon fiber is alright on it. But honestly, I would prefer the um white one. The or Okay, it's not considered white because it's not the Arctic white like the weapon skin. It's the Heb. I'm not even gonna try to say that. I cannot speak today. It is the weapon attachment skin that came in the last winter event, the Snowball event. So this is what I have been rocking. If you can comment below on which one out of the ones I shown that you like, I will take it your advice and see how it goes. At the moment, I'm gonna try out probably the. I'm actually gonna keep the Team Liquid one just because it matches the bundle, and also I'll use the white attachment skin or the winter skin because it also matches my operators white and blue. So I'm gonna keep this on, and then the pistol I currently use the Year of the Tiger and the Moss Grown Ruin, but I'm gonna see how the Red Silk looks. And it looks pretty good, pretty decent. And then the Red Gear Tiger. I'm gonna keep not Red Gear Tiger, I mean the Year of the Tiger. I'm gonna keep that on. But instead of rocking the Moss Grown Ruin, might just keep the Moss Grown Ruin to be honest. I'm just gonna keep that one. And then I use frag grenades. That is it for Sledge. Thatcher. I use AR-33, 2.5 flash hider, and vertical. I used to use compensator. Honestly, it really doesn't matter which one you use. In my opinion, you can use either or. I don't really go back and forth between the two anymore. I just stick with flash and basically that's it. The reason why I really switch is because with compensator, at certain times, just popping up in the game when you're shooting at somebody, sometimes I have some abnormal recoil control. But there's no reason to use muzzle break on this or suppressor though. I've been thinking about using 1.5 on this gun instead of 2.5. I've still been thinking because honestly, if you're playing Thatcher, you're gonna be at the breach hole. And only certain maps where you're at the breach hole, you're gonna want an ACOG, and that's basically Consulate's Garage or Chalette's Garage. You would prefer 2.5 over the 1.5. Other than that, anywhere else, a 1.5 is perfect. But see, I don't normally play Thatcher unless we're on Consulate or Chalet and it's not banned. So I just keep 2.5 on it. I use the Black Ice obviously, and then I use Till. Honestly, the Till, it looks good on the scope in the magazine, but at the barrel and the grip, I would like white. And honestly, it looks great with the white, with the barrel and the grip, but then when you get to the magazine and the sight, it's just like doesn't match. It matches, but it's not as good as what the Till is. So I'm just gonna keep it at Till. And then this L85 I use 2.0 flash hider, but like I said, I haven't fixed all my operators up yet, so I'm putting muzzle brake on it now. And then I use vertical. I use the Australis 2020, and then I use black. Like I said, I might change this one up. Instead of using Australis one, I might actually go to the other options I have, like the Year of the Tiger or the Red Silk. And then shotgun, like I said, reflex laser on all shotties. And then Year of the Tiger on the P226, MK25. And I use Claymore, always Claymore. So this is what I advise. Most operators that have Claymores, I advise using. Because there's always going to be people that will try to flank. Always. or run outs or jump outs or anything in claymores, you might not even use the claymore in the round, but when you do use it, just imagine it is a 1v4 or a 1v5. You're in sight, you just got a double kill, and you know where the third enemy is, and you kill the third enemy. That is 3 out of the 4 or 5 people left. And then somebody tries to flank you, and bam, you kill them. It's a 1v1 or it's a game winner. Not a game winner, but a round winner. So it's like Claymore can come in clutch at any point in time. And the only time I ever see Breach Charge runnable is in 2 cases. You don't mess with your gadget at all, and you don't even look at it, and you let it stay at default, or you're one of those guys that are probably like to play vertical, but see, the only time I run breach charges for vertical play normally is with Fuse, and that's because it's either breach charge or hard breach charge. Honestly, you don't get a claymore chance with him. So honestly, and then breach charge, I don't run vertical play unless I know I have a 5 stack that's willing to all play vertical play too, or at least have at least 2 other teammates with me to play vertical play. So I don't use breach charge. I feel like it's useless. I feel like it's become useless also because they brought the harsh breach charge in. That's just me though. And for my appearance, I honestly didn't know what to rock. I liked the elite skin, and then I liked the one that I got back in a battle pass, I think it was. I don't know how long ago. I do like the legacy one to use, but see, the thing is the legacy one doesn't really match any of the suits, or I mean uniforms I have besides the default one. So I use I use this one, which I'm actually gonna go back to his elite skin because I just like it. I don't know why. Plus, I don't like having those. I mean, even though I don't get to see the operator in game, I just don't like having all those weird tags from like the battle pass or road to SI, like those tags that has a 6 on it or something like that. I'm not a big fan of that. I like the old school things where they're military uniforms and stuff. So I'm gonna go back to that. It's probably the best one I even have anyways. And let me equip the AR-33 because that's the one I use anyways. Okie dokie. There's Thatcher. Now let's go to Ash. So I'm gonna just be honest. I don't play Ash. I don't even. I think she's actually one of my top operators, but honestly, I don't play her. She's probably one of my least played operators in this game. I'm not a person that likes to push hard into the site, and I don't know. That's just not my type of play style. So with the G36, there's no recoil with this gun already. So I use 1.5 flash and angle. Only reason why I use flash hider on this gun. I do not normally run flash hider, but the only reason why I'm running flash hider is because I have angle grip on. But that's the only time I run flash is if I run angle grip. So on weapons that are easy to control the recoil, or there's no, and it's just a beam and no recoil, I will use flash hider and angle. But if I use compensator, I will use vertical. And I'm honestly thinking about actually going back to comp because honestly, I have used the G36 on Iana and Ash a few times in the last week, and when I'm shooting from a distance, probably like anywhere from 10 to 15 meters or more, I don't know what it is. I just start losing a little control of the recoil, and with compensator I don't. So I'm gonna go back to my old preference from back in the day and what I had before the season started, and I'm gonna run vertical and comp on this weapon. And I think for the rest of this, not season, but the rest of my time that I will be playing, I don't think I'm going to be rocking a lot of angle grip anymore. Because with the nerf that they hit with it, I just feel like it doesn't do anything as useful as it used to be. I can't wait until I get this green for this gun. It looks sick in my opinion. Even though it's not the perfect matching greens, it just still looks sick. So when I get that, I would love to use it. But right now I use black. Because I don't really have anything else that looks good with it, to be honest. I mean, fiber doesn't look bad on it, but I don't know why, but the carbon fiber that is in this game, I just don't, it doesn't attract me as much as it would in a lot of other games. And then, oh, and before I go moving on, I rock King George Charm. He's one of my favorite Twitch slash YouTubers. I enjoy watching his videos sometimes. Um, and you know, I just like how his charm, you know, just goes on all of my weapons. I don't know. You can get his charm by going to his Twitch and subscribing to his channel for either paying $4.99 or using a um 1 free month of your Amazon Prime's free subscribe. But you only get one per month. So there's that. And then once you subscribe, you will get his charm. For me, I get it basically pretty much instantly. I think the longest I waited for a charm is maybe like 2 hours, but normally it's instant. Now the R4C, I use hollow, vertical, and flash. Um, Honestly, you could basically use muzzle, cop, or flash on the R4C in my opinion. They all have their benefits for the R4C. Compensator, basically, what benefits is you can basically spray more. But the problem is at some certain point, the sprays will become uncontrollable. Um, so I use Flash Hider, which is better for bursting and not fully autoing as much as Compensator. And it's just better recoil and better first shot recoil too. Which technically what Muzzle Break is supposed to do is it helps you with your first shot or recentering. But Muzzle Break really honestly doesn't. It's basically like using Flash Hider, but not as good as Flash Hider, in my opinion, on this gun. I use Black Ice and Teal. Actually, I used to use SI Frame, which I'm actually gonna put back on because I think it looks better, to be honest. Gotta change this back to the winter one. There we go. And then yeah. So these are the two that I honestly use. That's just me though. And then I use Claymore. Like I said earlier, Claymore is the go route for me. Plus Ash already has 2 breach charges basically from a breaching round. I use her elite skin from Tomb Raider. I'm a really big fan of Tomb Raider, so that's another reason why. Thermite. Okay. I'm gonna start with, before I get into these, which don't really matter in my opinion, I'm gonna go with the 5.56. Okay, 5.56. I use 2.0 vertical and muzzle. I used to use the 2.5, but like over time, my recoil just starts going crazy at the end of the magazine clip. So I just went back to 2.0, and I don't normally potato at all with the 2.0. I use muzzle. I use muzzle. I used to use compensator and flash hider on this gun, back and forth between the two to see out what is better. Flash hider, in my opinion, I felt like I had more recoil from left to right if I spray and don't stop shooting or don't burst. Compensator, I shot more of a beam, but the problem with compensator on this gun, sometimes I just, it just kind of like, jumps up at you and surprises you with random recoil. So I put it to muzzle and I basically shoot what I do with compensator, but without the factor of it just, randomly doing something. And black ice and teal. I use this pistol 57 USG. The reason why I use this one is because my AR is hard hitting, and since it's a hard hitting AR, I rather use the 5.7 with a capacity of 20 rounds because one, the damage on this is decent, it's 42, and it's also a capacity it's unbelievable of 20 rounds. And honestly, it has no recoil as a pistol, so it's like, why not use it, right? While yes, the M45 is better, it's 58 damage, but the capacity is 7 bullets and 1 in the chamber, and the recoil is a little bit more. And honestly, I don't see no point when your AR is hard hitting. Why don't you just use a regular pistol or not regular pistol, but the 5.7 USG pistol, because I think it's just better to have in general. Because if you're gonna hit somebody with your AR and then you have to switch to your pistol, honestly, your pistol should kill them in 1 or 2 shots, especially if you hit your shots with your 5.56. That's just me though. And then I'm gonna go with. Actually, no, I'm gonna keep it with what I have right now. And then for my headgear and everything, I like rocking the Ninjas in Pajamas 2020. I just like how it looks. There's Thermite. Let's go to Twitch. Twitch, F2, 1.5 muzzle and vertical. I use muzzle break on the F2 because of the recentering of my shots and the first shot recoil, because the F2 has an unbelievable first shot recoil in my opinion. And it just helps me with recentering, like I said, so I like it. I can't really explain flash hider and comp on this gun. I really don't see how these two are good at all, in my opinion. Flash hider, I guess, it lowers the recoil, but honestly, like I said, you really want your gun having better recentering shots for the F2. Okay, on the 417 and the shotgun, actually, let me go back real quick. I forgot with thermite to put reflex, and then now okay here, put reflex on this shotgun. I ain't gonna even use shotgun on her. That 417, if I ever do decide to use it, honestly, I think I'm gonna go to a 2.0 because I don't feel like a 3.0 is even useful on a Twitch. Muzzle, vertical. Obviously, this is basically, look, with DMRs, always muzzle, always. And it's your personal preference if you want vertical or angle, if they give you an angle option on the DMR. But always muzzle on DMR and pistol. Always. Always, always, always. Muzzle and on pistol is muzzle. I'm gonna use the red silk skin on this gun. And then I'm gonna use the black skin, attachment skin. Year of the Tiger, the P9. I'm gonna do Year of the Tiger. And then obviously for the revolver I use Black Ice. And then Claymore. I use her elite skin too. I don't really I like this headgear and I like this headgear, but the incognito goes actually pretty perfect with this uniform, but I just feel like this one's better, so I use this one still with her elite uniform. This one doesn't match so much in my opinion. But if I when I get the uniform that I want, I would rock that, and then and the uniform I want is the touch ops, and I like how this matches up kind of. It doesn't match perfectly, but it's something. But I don't have touch ops right now, so at the moment I just Montaigne. Montaigne probably never. I basically just threw a whole Christmas uniform on him. Muzzle laser, always laser on pistols on shield ops, because you can get lucky hip firing and getting headshots or whatever the case is. Sometimes it's good, so I use that. I will be using the red silk though instead of the Year of the Tiger, just because I feel like it, obviously. And then obviously for the revolver, I use the Black Ice. I use smokes on him. I mean, honestly, I don't play him, but smokes because he's rarely an operator that ends up helping the person plant or is the person that plants. And smokes are really good for plants. And then honestly, if you're playing Montang, I don't think you need a hard breach charge because hard breach charges are really useful on hatches, or you need to push because you know you're the only hard breacher, and or your thermite or whatever is dead or just already used it. This can come useful on walls, but Montang is really never gonna go through a breach, to be honest, unless it's a breach through a huge wall. Other than that, he's probably gonna be going through doorways. So honestly, I just use smoke. Glass, honestly, I use Black Ice. Um, Pistol, Black Ice, and then you got the Gone 6. Which for the Gone 6, I'm actually gonna use the red silk for. If I can find it. Shoot. Oh, I forgot. They don't have red silk for this weapon because it's how new it is. So I am gonna keep the Year of the Tiger on it. Then okay, see, I use frag grenades on him because honestly, I don't normally use his smokes for an advantage like that. And then normally, with my luck, this is what happens with me. I throw a smoke, and I'm in the smoke with my glass, and I'm standing still or slightly moving to where I can still see through the smoke to kill enemies, and then I get bad luck and I just get shot through the smoke. So I went to grenades, and then I just, wait for someone to finally, peek me, or when I know where somebody is, I just get ready for a pre-fire when they're gonna peek me or something. Okay, Fuse. I don't use his shield, so I don't even care about his shield. His LMG I don't ever use either, because see no point. And for his LMG, I feel like Year the Tiger. Even though I'm not gonna use his LMG. Okay, and then the AK-12 for Fuse 2.0 comp vert. I hate the I hate the ACOG for the Russians. I just do. Just like I hate the holographic for the Russians. So I use 2.0. And I use compensator. I'm telling you right now, you put compensator on the AK-12, it is a beam. I'm telling you right now, beam. And then for this gun though, I'm gonna use red silk. I think it would look better on it. And then I use what would red look like? See, that looks kind of good. I wish there was an all gold attachment skin that would match like the gold on these weapons that you get sometimes. I mean, even the white one might match a little bit because of the white flowers. I think that is. Well, yeah, that's flowers. Yeah, it matches the flowers a little, but I'm gonna go with black. Pistol, the PMM. I don't use the PMM. I use the GSH 18. Like I said, hard hitting LMG and hard hitting rifle. Why not use a pistol that's lower and recoil and lower in damage, but has a high capacity? So if I ever run out, I can just, tap, 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 tap until they run into my shots or something, whatever happens. The PMM though, if I ever did use this shield, I'd be using the PMM. That is why the laser is on it. But like I said, I don't use the shield, really. I mainly use a hard breach charge to get hatches because I normally play with him to play vertical, but also I end up playing with him on vertical map to play vertical to get hatches too, so I don't bring the breach charge really. So yeah, unless someone on my team is bringing like a Habana, I don't normally put breach charge on. Because a lot of people look like, oh, we got a fuse. I don't need to get hatches. So there's that. And appearances, I haven't really decided on how I really like rocking him. I like the decontamination in the headgear adapted visor that I have. I like how it looks. It looks pretty cool and everything. But I really loved his elite skin, and then I also really love the fact that you can put this headgear on his elite skin and it look dope. But honestly, I have too many stuff for him, so I don't ever know what to ever use. Give me 1 second, please. Okie dokie, I'm back now. So like I said, I honestly don't. I'm to the point where I don't know what to use, to be honest. So yeah, this is what I basically use on him right now. So I'm just gonna keep it that way for now. Okay, let's go to Blitz. Blitz. I'm gonna use the red silk with black. And then I use smokes. That's basically it. Lead skin out. Okay. Now let's talk about. Give me 1 second again, please. Sorry about that. Okay. AUG 2, reflex, flash hider. You can use the 2.5 if you want. I'm gonna turn it back to 2.5, honestly. I don't know. I don't ever use this gun on her though, so honestly, it doesn't really matter. 5.52 Commando. I'm not gonna use the red silk because the front end doesn't even have anything, so I'm gonna stay with the here the tiger. Flash hider 1.5 and vertical. I think it's honestly I don't know if it's flash hider or muzzle. I forgot. I don't use it really. Um, I would have to do my research on it more and test it myself out more because a lot of people use between flash hider and muzzle on her. So honestly, I would have to go into it more often and see. Honestly, you can use either muzzle brake or flash hider. I'm gonna actually go back to actually, no, not go back. I'm gonna stay with flash hider for now. On the G8, I use flash hider. It's basically a beam with flash. Um, then I'm gonna stick with Year of the Tiger on this one, I think. Actually, no, I actually like the red silk, so I'm gonna go with red silk. Wish I could get the red crimson one right now. I'm gonna have to save my renown up for that one. I'm gonna use the red of the tiger on the P12. Oh, and for the P12, I use suppressor for IQ, just for, destroying cameras and everything to stay quiet. And then Claymore. Okay, Buck. For a C8, I use 1.5 flash and laser. Only reason why I use laser on this AR is because of the underbarrel shotgun. That is it. Use a 2.0 on this gun too, muzzle and laser because of underbarrel. Let me use the red silk on this gun too. then I use hard breach charge. Sometimes I do use stun grenades, depending on how I'm gonna play. Okay, Blackbeard. I'll go with red silk. I use holographic, flash hider, and vertical. For DMR, I don't know why I have a 1.5 on this. For his DMR though, honestly, probably for this DMR, for him, I'll use a 3.0. I'll use the Year of the Tiger. And for the Deagle, I use Year of the Tiger too. And then I use stun grenades. I use the drippy Santa Claus outfit. Capital. Let me see something real quick. Okay. Capital. I use 1.5 vertical and I need to, I honestly don't remember what you use on him. That's another one I gotta go back to my notes and look. Which one is this? This is the Para 308. Honestly, I would use muzzle or comp. Muzzle or comp on this gun. To be honest, I think I'm gonna go with muzzle for a little and see how it goes. The 249, I used the compensator on the 249, and then I used the 2.0 on the vertical. And then I use Claymore. Then I use his elite skin. So I honestly don't really have that many other good uniforms for him. Habana, I use 1.5 compensator and vertical. You could also use muzzle break for her. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you use comp or muzzle. I haven't really seen a big, well, I'm not gonna say I haven't seen a big difference because I normally use compensator more than muzzle anyways. I'm gonna try muzzle out though and see how it goes. I'm going back and forth between the two though. Flex. The Berry 9, I use compensator. Yeah, I use stun grenades. Jackal, I use flash hider and angle, but I'm gonna go back to, I do not use flash. Use compensator and use vertical with the 2.0. PDW, I will use vertical now and compensator. And then 1.5. and then use Claymore. Ying 1.5. I think it's Muzzle. I have to go back to my notes real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Muzzle. I think it's Muzzle. But I could, you know what? Give me 1 second, actually. My bad, it's Flash Hider. And then I use Hard Breach. Okay, there's Ying, Zofia, LMG E 2.0. I don't know if it's Compensator now or Flash Hider. I've been going back and forth between the two. I think on my notes I have Flash, but in game I decided to pick Comp for some reason a lot. But yeah, my notes it's Flash. So I think what happens is I use Compensator because I beam a lot up close, and I forget that I do shoot from a distance with her more often with the LMG. So I forget that Flash Hider is better at the distance. So yeah, this is what you should have: 2.0 flash and vertical. And I'm gonna use the red silk one on this one. And then use Muzzle Break on the M762. It is beautiful in my opinion. 2.0 in vertical. And then I'm gonna use this one. And I use Claymore. Okie dokie. Now Dokkaebi. Hold on. Dokkaebi. I use 3.0 on Dokkaebi because a lot of times I actually do use this rifle from a distance. Okay, and this is gonna be funny, but with the MK14 I use Flash Hider on Dokkaebi, but Muzzle on a Rooney. So, the reason why I use Flash Hider on the MK14 EBR for Dokkaebi is because her gun's really quick to shoot, in my opinion. And when I use the Muzzle Break, I find myself making circles around enemies instead of actually hitting the enemy. I don't know why, it just happens. With Dokubi at least. And then vertical. I'm gonna use the Tiger for this one. Same for the shotgun. Gone 6 and same for the SMG-12. Then I'm gonna use smokes. Actually, no, I'm not even gonna use the Year of the Tiger. I forgot I have this one. Golden Repair. Which, oh, this one will go so perfect with the Golden Repair. Once I can get this. I'm gonna use the red silk for this one too. Lion, Muzzle Break. The next close runner up, I would use Compensator. That's just me. I would never use Flash Hider on Lion's V308. At Muzzle Break. 2.0, vertical. Then use the Gon 6 instead of the Magnum. All because the fact that the Gon 6 is usable and really useful because I have 50 something bullets in my V308. And then Claymore. And I'm gonna use the decontamination with the Leon headgear. Finka. Let's go with the red silk. Black compensator on the Spear 308 2.0 vertical. 6 point. Okay, I don't know why I have the ACOG here. 1.5 flash and vertical. And then the SAS, the sausage, reflex, vertical, laser, and then the PMM, and then the Gon 6. I use the Gon 6 over the PMM because honestly, with the Spear 308, the reload in my opinion is pretty quick. And then I normally don't have to reload because I don't normally miss shots with it that much. So I tend to kill my enemy and then don't really have to worry about reloading right away. And then if I use the LMG, that's 100 rounds right there. And then grenades. Maverick. DMR would be what I don't know why okay, no, never mind. I haven't changed it. That's why. DMR will be at a all low 1.5 or 2.0. I'm gonna have it at 2.0 probably. Muzzle vertical. M4 on the other hand, muzzle, vertical, 1.5. Let's see what this one looks like. I will keep using the Year of the Tiger, and then the 1911 Year of the Tiger, and then frag grenades. And then Nomad, muzzle, 1.5. I'm actually gonna go. I'm gonna stay with 1.5, and I think I'm gonna stick with Year of the Tiger. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Year of the Tiger. The ARX will be using the Dark Zero Esports with black attachment. And then flash hider, I think it is what it is. But it might be muzzle. Let me check. On my list of weapons that I decided to, the ARX, I switched to flash hider. And stun grenades. Gridlock. I use compensator vertical 2.5, which I'm going to actually drop down to a 2.0. And I think I either been using comp or muzzle break. I think it's compensator. And I think someone tried to convince me to use muzzle, but I haven't tried muzzle out yet. So, to be honest, I would have to try muzzle out before I even tell you guys, but I currently use compensator. So, I will get back onto that one at some other point. Because I didn't test this gun out, honestly. The times I have used it, though, in rank, I do perfectly fine with compensator. The 249 saw, I used to use compensator, but I switched it to flash hider. I don't know why. I just feel like the 249 saw on gridlock does better with flash hider than the 249 saw on the Capitels. So I use flash hider 2.0 in vertical. And then I use the Gon 6 with smokes. Knock. I use flash hider 1.5. You can use muzzle, honestly. I use flash because I'm more used to flash. Muzzle break is actually probably better, but I'm not used to it and I don't feel like trying to get used to it again. So I'm gonna stick with flash hider. Red silk, black, reflex, deagle. Would be here the tiger. And then this one would be white attachment, and then grenades for her. Maru, I use a flash hider 2.0 and vertical. Sometimes I do drop down the holographic. SMG11 compensator, holographic vertical. Flash hider. Cali. Honestly, just use Claymore, SPS, MG9. The C75 is better, but I like having the reflex sight. And then obviously you can only use a sniper. This one, flash hider, like I said earlier. And that's basically about it. 1.5 vertical. G36. I was using red dot, but I'm gonna go back to holographic, and I'm gonna go back to compensator, and then I'm gonna go back to vertical. Ace. Like I said earlier on the Fuse 2.0 comp and vertical. Zero. Compensator 2.0 vertical. 1.5 muzzle. Flores. You know what? Let me see real quick what I have on for Thatcher. So yes. I have Flash Hider 2.0 vertical. Then 2.0 muzzle and vertical. Then GSA, the GSH 8, I think is 18. And then Claymore. OSUS 556, Muzzle Break 2.0 vertical. EDW, Compensator vertical 1.5. PMM, Muzzle Break. Claymore. Smoke. Forgot smoke, I use 1.5 flash, laser reflex, muzzle, and then holographic comp and vertical. And then shield. Mute, I use muzzle break 1.5, one reflex, and then one laser, holographic compensator vertical, and then muzzle with C4. Castle, I use angled and compensator and 1.5. Let me turn that to vertical and then compensator. Pulse would be compensator, vertical, and then holographic. Dock will be 1.5 muzzle, vertical. P90 will be 1.5 flash. P9 will be muzzle. Then the Magnum will be black ice. And no attachments. And then the bulletproof camera. Rook. 90 flash hider 1.5, 2.0 muzzle and then vertical. P9, and then impacts. Nine by 19, I use 1.5 flash and angle grip. I might change it back to vertical, but I haven't decided yet.
Opening YouTube.
Oh my goodness, I hate when my TV does that. There we go. Sausage, like I said earlier, reflex, vertical, and laser. And then C4. The Chunka, I use the LMG. But if you use his other gun, reflex, angled, flash. I use deployable shield. Jaeger, reflex, laser, holographic muzzle, vert, and obviously muzzle, and then bulletproof camera. Bandit, muzzle, reflex, laser, B12, muzzle, and then nitro. Frost, reflex, laser, Frost is 9M. I use holographic and angle, no barrel. And then deployable shield. Valkyrie, I use muzzle, holographic, vertical. Then reflex, laser. Then C4. Gaviera, I use muzzle break, holographic, reflex, laser, and then impacts. Echo, really don't need to do nothing, I just recommend using 1.5. Holographic compensator for the bearing 9. And then deployable shield. And I need to change this uniform up too, to be honest. I'm gonna use the voiceless obscurity. If I said that correctly, sorry if I didn't. I used to rock the obscured samurai with his elite headgear. But I like this one. Mira. Holographic muzzle vertical. Compensator in the close second. Um, reflex and laser for the shotguns. And then nitro cell. Okay, Legion. You know what? I'm gonna use the Year of the Tiger actually on my guns with the Legion. And then impacts. Okay. Holographic, muzzle, and vertical for Ella. And then I use deployable shield. Vigil. Holographic flash hider vertical. And then impacts. Maestro. Muzzle break, holographic, vertical. And impacts. Alibi. Muzzle 1.5 vertical. Then impacts. Clash. I use the MG9 with flash hider basically only. And then impacts. I go back and forth between impacts and barbed wire. It depends if my teammates need rotates. If they need rotates, I run impacts. If they don't, then I run barb. Cade. Comp 1.5 vertical. And then nitro. Mozzie. I run hollow, muzzle, vertical. A10 Roni, I run compensator 1.5 vertical. And then nitro. Warden. Reflex, laser, and then put the till. Okay, MPX I use 1.5 muzzle vertical. Basically what I use on Valk, just with the 1.5. Goyo, muzzle, hollow, vert, nitro. Flash hider, reflex, 1.5, and muzzle. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go back to using the other one actually. And then impacts. Orcs 1.5 comp. Hollow muzzle vert on Malusi. Aruni, I use Muzzle Break now. They don't give her a choice for a flash hider, so I don't use that. 1.5 vertical. And then bulletproof camera. red dot, compensator, vertical, and then nitro cell. Compensator, holographic, vertical. And the boy will show. Okay, that is all the operators. That I've read through the attachments of what I use. And basically, that's what I run. I gave you guys my settings. Currently plat 2. I don't think rank matters on how you run your attachments and settings, but some people out there do think that's how it's run, but not me. But yeah, this is Kirito, and I'll be seeing you later. I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow. Hopefully, get some dubs and rank, and yeah. So hope everyone has a good night, and I'm out.